Red and green are the toughest colors to pull off in cinematography. The Double Life of Veronique was shot in 1991, long before DI and color grading was a thing. These surreal green and red tones were created in film with just lights, filters, and camera. The experiment was so successful it inspired countless green-tinged films. Many still try to pull off green and red today, but only a few are successful. Amélie and The Matrix are films that did a better job than the rest. The Double Life of Veronique paved the way for these films. I'm Suri Sudekran, and I'm going to show you how director Krzysztof Kieślowski and cinematographer Sławomir Ijak used strong green and red tones to create the surreal and beautiful story of two girls connected through a mysterious force. Veronika is in Poland and Veronique is in France. Their lives have lots of parallels. Music, a heart condition, an old woman walking alone, no mother, only father, a boyfriend they're ambivalent about, and a fascination for sleeping the same way, making love the same way, even dressing very similarly. They live a kind of parallel life, existing separately until Veronika sees Veronique on her trip to Krakow. At this time, Veronique is oblivious to her doppelganger. Later, a photograph she takes reveals to her the existence of Veronika, and it helps her come to terms with a lot of unexplained emotional episodes. If you haven't watched the movie, please watch it first. There are spoilers ahead. Veronika gets discovered, wins a singing competition, and takes center stage. She's at her most blissful when singing, but it leads to her untimely death. As she passes, Veronique is overwhelmed by great sadness, and she can't explain it. This changes her, and I have a theory about it that I'll explain in just a bit. She changes boyfriends, becomes a better person, and returns to her roots at the end. It is never explained what connects the two Veroniques, just that there is a connection. In order to make this happen, lots of things are common between the two storylines. Some of this I've highlighted already, but the strongest subtext is created by the lighting and colors. Either you have strong green colors or red colors, or a combination of both. A quick word on practicality though. This was a low-budget film, and there's only so much you can control with lighting and color. Large exterior spaces just can't have the same color intensity without the help of color grading or expensive production design. A lot of these exterior scenes are neutral or colored in amber, which is just a natural way to light without making things look silly. Remember, it's hard to pull off scenes bathed in reds and greens and not draw attention to the fact. These colors are not motivated by any practical lights on set. Therefore, the predominant colors are green and red, or amber is just red when red was too much. From here on, a simple pattern emerges that's hard to ignore. Veronika is clearly lit in red. The world of Poland, though, which is the director's native country, is green. We are introduced to her story first, and we get slowly accustomed to almost every scene having a combination of green or red. The other characters really don't have a choice. They inhabit whatever the background has in store for them, or they are with Veronika and have the same light. This is especially true of all the people Veronika holds dear, her father, her boyfriend, and her aunt, but not always. Veronika is a woman who is on the cusp of success. She tastes it. Just before her great performance, her heart condition is revealed to be serious. At this time, a curious thing happens. A man flashes her, and it lightens her spirits. She's one who lives to the fullest and carries on with the show. During the show, she dies, and when she does, the very next scene has a point of view of her in her casket looking up at her loved ones, and she sees them through her eyes, everyone in red. Then we cut to Veronique, whose double life this film is about. She feels a great sense of loss in Paris, which is the director's second home. Veronique's world is red, which means most of the backgrounds are red. She is typically bathed in green. This contrast is not just for show. It has a much deeper meaning. The life of Veronika serves as a warning. Her passing pushes Veronique to change for the better, starting with her boyfriend. We never see him again after the first scene, and this first change is brought on by Veronika's death. So how do the colors tell the story? Here's the answer. Whenever Veronique's on the wrong path, she's still green. When she makes the right choices, she's red, matching the pure life that was Veronika's. Their mother set them on this path right from the very first scene. When Veronika is destined for the stars, Veronique is destined to deal with problems on Earth. When Veronique grieves for Veronika, she is lit in red light, not green. The connection begins to make sense, and her life begins to change. She gets rid of an old man who threatens her. Was this the parallel of the old man who flashed at Veronika? We don't know, but only that Veronique is moving on. not sure why she's doing what she's doing. The film's second biggest scene is the marionette scene, where she meets the puppeteer for the first time. The story of Veronica's death plays out and she transforms into a butterfly. Is this what is happening to Veronique? Veronique too gets an ECG done. Why? We don't know. It's only natural they share the same heart condition, and it becomes Veronique's mission to right her life before her time is up. Life is fragile and she must make amends. But there are roadblocks. She can't easily overcome her old, flippant nature. When she writes that, she's back to warm light. The puppeteer puts her on a small quest, which is reminiscent of another movie already mentioned in this video. This quest helps her find her way and a new lover. Slowly the green gets rarer as she begins to take on a warm light. When she sees the old woman, she doesn't offer her help, like Veronica did.
Proszę pani.
She's not a bad person, so she tries to get better. When the puppeteer finally helps her find Veronica, everything makes sense. The connection and her need to change.
Pourquoi deux?
The puppeteer explains it perfectly. There are two Veroniques because one might die. That's what happened. The two crucial points in the story are also connected by Dutch angles, and when Veronique gets flashed by light in her apartment, a moment of decision from which there is no return. In the final scene, we echo the first time we saw Veronica. She's singing blissfully in the rain, and Veronique finds her own bliss, a tree in her home, from which the leaves of her beginning are connected. Her father senses it and understands his daughter is home. She's at peace. Director Krzysztof Kieślowski peppers the film with lots of references to red and green. Green balls, clothes, vehicles, but none are stronger or as important than the red and green that colors her face and that which pervade every frame of the double life of Veronique. If you like this video, please hit like and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell you'll see on the right. If you don't, your doppelganger might give up filmmaking and take up singing. Then you'll start seeing red and green in real life. You don't want that, I assure you. I hope you found this video useful. I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.